Hey guys, T-Boliv here, and wanted to take a look today at the early release, the upcoming Tier 8 Pan-Asian destroyer, the Hsienyang. This is a boat that is going to be out in the near future, free for you guys to grind. It is early release right now, so they decided, Wargaming in their infinite wisdom, to put them in a gambling crate, where you can, for gold, get a 1 and change percent chance of pulling either the tier 7 or the tier 8 out. Did another video earlier, posted it, showing me going through a few attempts to get the two boats, and you can take a look at that one if you want to see, how much gold it really does cost and what the realistic chances are of getting it. I won't go into all of that again, but basically the benefit to doing so, for those of you who don't want to wait for these to come out, is they do have a victory blitz. We'll take a peek at it real quick here. They've got one for the tier 7. 8 victories gets you 10 copper and 5 steel. For the Hsienyang, that same 8 victories will get you 15 copper and 10 steel. So basically that's the carrot to get you to spend gold to try to get the boats out. It's up to you guys if you want to do it. I played a handful of games in the Hsienyang earlier, and I did seem to like it. Got some gameplay footage for you guys in a little bit. First, I wanted to show you how I set the boat up, and then I thought I would take a look and compare it to the Hsienyang, which is the premium Tier 8 PanAsia destroyer, and then the Benson. The Hsienyang, as we'll see here in a minute, is a U.S. destroyer that was sold to the Republic of China in the 50s. Pretty similar to the Benson, so I thought we'd just compare some of the numbers to that, because I know the Benson's a really popular Tier 8 destroyer. Just kind of see where the boat sits stat-wise in comparison to a couple of the others there. So, yeah, so I guess we'll start. As far as captain skills, I just pulled this guy off of the Tier 6 that we did a video on a few days ago, so the stats are all the same there. I did still go APCS because the Hsienyang, like the rest of the Pan-Asian destroyers, has deep water torpedoes. I wanted all the help I could get against other destroyers. Giant Hunter, same thing. Flood resistance, engine overload, Mistweaver. So you can see what we did. Pretty standard destroyer build, just taking advantage of the perks this one gets, which is much like the Tier 6, you get smoke, you get engine accelerator. The difference with the Tier 8 here is it's the first one in the line that gets you radar. You get 1 charge of radar 1, which is a 7.2 kilometer range for 10 seconds. So kind of an interesting feature. I used it a couple of times today when playing with a team, when other guys were ready to shoot, somebody popped smoke and I was close enough. So it helped. It's more of a team thing than a personal thing, because putting out that much damage against somebody in smoke with your guns on this isn't really going to happen, not like in a Cleveland, for example, but it still was handy, especially for a team effort. Supplies, again, pretty standard for a destroyer. Equipment, I did take the main battery mod 1, boost your turret traverse speed. We're going to take a look at a second what that gets us up to, because it's pretty awesome. And then acceleration and concealment. And then the historical camouflage is, I think, exactly the same as the Tier 6. Main battery range, torpedo range, traverse speed, surface detection. So pretty standard. As far as stats go, just to kind of show you what some of them were at, like with the way that I had the boat set up, the ones that I was really excited about was the 30.82 degrees per second of turret traverse speed. The biggest issue I have with the Udachi is I can't torpedo another destroyer, and the guns turn so slow that I can't perform evasive maneuvers and still keep guns on them. Not an issue with this boat at all. The torpedoes have a decent flood chance, good torpedo speed there. But the other thing I wanted to show you guys before we get more into the stats and comparing to the other two boats is that surface detection. So got it down to 5.26 kilometers, which is very, very nice. Yeah, so between that and then a 9-kilometer torpedo range with the historical camo, you get a nice little window there where you can stealth torp. So anyways, let's get this stripped down real quick so we can get a fair comparison with the other two boats. As you guys know, I try to do comparisons in stock configuration, just that way you guys can really get a fair feel. Obviously, stats change as you add equipment to them, and so in order to get a really fair comparison, try to look at the boat's bone stock and know the stats can change from there. So, as I said, this is a U.S. destroyer. It's a Gleaves class. It's the first Gleaves class we've run into in World of Warships Blitz. Hit points stock, we got 16,402. Benson 16,284. Same with the Hsienyang, which for those of you who don't know, actually is the USS Benson that was sold to the Republic of Korea. So the Hsienyang is the Tier 8 Premium PanAsia destroyer. It's a Benson with one less gun and sonar. Those are the two biggest changes over the stock Benson. So looks like the Hsienyang actually has a little bit more health, which is nice. Speed 37.78 knots. Pretty quick boat. Yeah, 2 knots faster than the Hsienyang, 2 knots faster than the Benson. Turn time 3 seconds, 3.3. So it's got a little bit slower rudder shift, but that's okay. Hsienyang main guns. You got 4x1, 127 millimeter, pretty standard U.S. destroyer guns. You got 5x1 and 4x1. So it's got the same gun setup as the Hsienyang. Same reload time, 3.6 seconds. Longer range though. You see the Benson and the Hsienyang, 7.85. Got 8.5 on the Hsienyang. So definitely got a little bit longer range. Same damage though. Numbers there are the same. And then turret traverse is a hair faster on the Hsienyang stock. Like I said, stock 25.68, 24 for the other two boats. Torpedoes, they are deep water torpedoes, so they hit cruisers, battleships, aircraft carriers. They do not hit other destroyers. So if you roll up on a destroyer and dump torps, they're just going to sail underneath and not do any damage. I actually had another Hsienyang try to torp me twice in one battle. I think I got it in a video. I don't know if it's going to make it into the cut yet. I haven't gone into editing my clips, but it did make me chuckle. I'm not sure if he was just trying to scare me and get me to turn or what, or if he didn't understand what the features of his boat were, but he definitely had deep water torps, and he definitely tried torping me twice, and he definitely didn't do a damn thing. So be aware, you can fire your torpedoes at another destroyer all you want, and you're not going to get any results for it. So anyways, deep water torps, they have 2x5, so same as the Benson. You got 2 racks of 5. 63-second reload time is a little bit longer than the Hsienyang and longer than the Benson. So you've got a little bit longer reload on the Hsienyang. Torpedo damage, 4,189. They definitely hit harder. They are harder to spot too. One of the stats that we don't see is torpedo detection range, but I know the deep water torpedoes don't show up until later, so they're harder to dodge. Looks like Hsienyang does have longer range as well, 8.7 kilometers. With the historical camo, you're actually out just past 9, just kind of nice if you get somebody that doesn't understand how to turn their boat. 6.9 for both of these guys. They're also faster, 62.52 knots for the Benson and the Hsienyang, almost 70 knots for the Hsienyang. 25% chance of flooding, 20 degrees per second rotation. Looks like the turret rotation is pretty standard, but you do get a little bit better chance of flooding. That's nice. AA on a destroyer, not a whole lot to talk about. Looks like Benson still leads the pack. It's not totally unexpected. You do get a little bit better surface detection here, 6.12 versus 6.18, but looks like the Hsienyang's got them both beat at 6. So surface detection is pretty standard across the board for all three. Yeah. So that's how the stats break down for these three guys. Short version, I did enjoy the Hsienyang. I'm looking forward to getting one myself for my personal account. I'm interested to see where the Tier 9 and Tier 10 end up going. If they follow along with PC, I think they'll be good boats. But, Wargaming does what Wargaming is going to do, and we'll have to wait and see what they come up with. So anyways, that's all I've got for you guys for here. So let's jump into some gameplay footage.
control.